Everybody, PSW60 back for Turok 2, and I know what game I'm playing this time. Joining me today...
Oh, this is where I start. Hi, everybody. I'm Leave My Wife. I was just trying to wonder if we introduced me last episode.
That was like half an hour ago, I can't remember.
I was really thinking, I'm like, I think we did. What if we didn't? Will anybody care? Does anybody know who I am?
They do now. I'll put your name in bold during the upload. I'll make it flash if I can. Just to detract from these couple of guys up here running around like idiots.
Oh, it's kind of a dick move. You just shoot a blind guy in the ass with an arrow. Like
from that perspective, I guess it makes sense why they're running around.
Like, the only way you could have been more of a douche about that was if it was the charge dart gun.
Max 60.
Nice meeting you, blind person. Have a seizure.
My question is, when a game has a gun that, you know, you have your limited ammo resource with it, well, like the plasma rifle takes 5 bits of ammo per shot, why don't they just cut that down from 150 down to whatever, so it only takes 1 per shot?
Yeah, that would make sense in most cases.
I mean,
it's particularly what I wasn't too fond of with the quad rocket launcher out of the first game. You'd fire it and your ammo count dropped by 4.
Yeah, especially since, like, if there was a way to fire individual shots, you know, okay. But there's not.
That's an easy to miss switch. On the upside, you can't really go any further until you hit it. Something weird happened with this guy. I'm not really sure what's going on with him.
He was hoping you wouldn't shoot him in the face.
I am Turok!
I am Turok! I still love that. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm just gonna get confused by a spider momentarily. To answer your question, though, about the plasma rifle, there is a separate weapon that uses the same ammo pool. And that one can fire individual shots. Sort of.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Do we encounter that weapon this level?
No, we don't get it until the Hive of the Mantids. Although we are about to get the Eagle Feather for this level.
Well, now you got me wondering what gun it is. I mean, what the hell else uses plasma rifle?
I have a strict policy that spoilers don't exist, so it's the Firestorm cannon.
Oh yes, that's right. That thing's badass.
What's not badass is the only jumping puzzle in Turok 2 that I can remember.
I know, I still don't want to talk about the gun, though, because there's somebody watching that doesn't know what's going on, that doesn't know what to expect from the gun. Like, I don't even want to say the name, because then they already have an idea.
Fair point, I'll keep that one quiet for now.
Hey, was that a flamethrower back there?
Yeah, that was another flamethrower, just in case you didn't go into that cave in the first one. There's one just blatantly lying in the path with no real way to avoid it, other than directly avoiding it. And why would you avoid a gun in this game?
Yeah, you did.
I've got full ammo for it. I've also got really bad aim.
We knew that already. One of my favorite things about the flamethrower is if you fire it into a source of water, steam just starts rising out.
I did not know that. I'm going to have to remember that. Or if I did know it, I'd forgotten by this point.
Oh, to be a carefree blind man.
On the upside, they don't react at all unless you... I don't know where those bubbles came from. I'm not underwater.
The grenade exploded underwater.
And it made bubbles above the water?
Yes. Look, if you got a better explanation.
I want to ask if that could actually happen, but I don't know, and I don't know how I'd find out, seeing as how I don't have access to grenades.
Do you know how many nerds are on the forum?
Fair point. Now, this teleporter back here is finally where we can go back up to try to do that jumping puzzle for the eagle feather again.
Harpoon gun.
Harpoon gun.
Yeah, I like the Australian accent they gave her. Or British, I'm not really sure. Now those life force tokens are leading directly into the wall. And there is a switch up there, but that way's progress, so I'm not going to do that yet.
Well, you never want to go, you know, progress in a first-person shooter. Quite yet.
Nah, not when I can still go back and try for that eagle feather again. I do have to say, this level is at least very pretty. And I can't wait to see what it looks like in the remastered version once they finally finish it.
That's still the thing that's coming out, right?
Now, they haven't said anything about it being canceled or anything like that. The only one that I think that they canceled thus far was their Power Slave remake.
Well, did you know there was a Game Boy Color version of Turok 2 released?
I did. I think Blind Sally was telling me about it. Or maybe he was telling me about a Game Boy Advance version.
Oh, but Blind Sally would totally know that, though.
All I can remember about it was there was one guy that's kind of a cyborg, and he's built like a big football player with spiky shoulders, and it's pretty much just a Contra game with Turok in it.
I don't think you can ask for much more out of a Turok game.
This is the guy that I was talking about in the last episode, where I just decided to see how long the charge dart lasts for. Pretty sure the purple shot's the strongest.
Oh, looked like it took 3 energy dart thingamajiggers.
Yeah, it did. Thank you for contributing to the experiment.
I like he turned around like, who the fuck?
His services were no longer required. He's fired.
I hope you feel clever for that one.
I do.
Holy crap, you're fighting Spider-Man.
Yeah, I've never seen them directly climb on the wall before. I always kind of guessed they did, since they come up some pretty much vertical surfaces. But that's the first time I've seen it happen. On the upside, we can make that jump, so we don't have to jump back down the waterfall and then come back up, only to backtrack even more to get back to that that talisman chamber from last episode. I am going to speed it up, though, because it is a lot of backtracking.
This game's
Those
shit.
sound like angry terriers. Oh, I love speeding this stuff up so much more than just cutting it out.
And if I could get that sound distilled into avatar form.
It sounds like there's an entrail in there somewhere, but I couldn't figure out where he was at. Like, I could hear his shots firing, I could hear him slashing the air, but I have no idea where he was at. These sounds are magical sped up.
Oh, he switched explosive shells.
Well, I knew I was going to encounter up here, or at least I thought I knew what I was going to encounter. I had to take these guys trying to fight the spiders back to regular speed.
It kind of looked like they weren't winning.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, they're dinosaur hybrids, so they're not really going to have the highest IQs to begin with.
But they have laser guns and grenades, I mean...
Well, one of them did try to throw a grenade at the spider, and it just kind of bounced somewhere else. We're still not back at the talisman chamber.
I'm kind of hoping you fall off. We get high-pitched Turok screams. Aww.
Gonna have to write that down. Yeah, I can't find a pen. Never mind.
You're sitting at a computer, and you're worried about not being able to find a pen to take a note.
I figured the pen would make less noise than keyboard typing.
Goddamn kids these days.
Yeah, at least they're kids that get new power-ups.
Your offering pleases the spirits. I grant you a heart of fire talisman. Now you may walk over seas of lava without being harmed.
So is this one let you do? Breathe fire or something?
This one lets you walk in lava. And I haven't found any keys other than the first one yet.
Do you go through the whole level in these two videos?
No.
Okay, because I was going to say, I remember there being a boss fight.
There's another 3 or 4 after it. I figured I'd cut walking back there to the bottom of that waterfall, where we came back to the where I had to teleport back to that jumping puzzle for the eagle feather. And everybody had to see the run back.
Yeah, but you let us hang out while you wait for ammo to respawn.
Honestly, I didn't know there were ammo spawners on that pillar. I was trying to figure out what that pillar was for. Drunk sniping.
I think I heard one of the... I could have sworn I heard one of those guys getting ready to commit suicide.
I think that was him turning invisible.
Oh. I just heard the...
Yeah, it's the same sound effect. There we go. I can't even really see him, I just see the arrow, or the spear flailing widely around. And my collection's incomplete, so I'm gonna make sure I pick up every one of these spears again. There we go. It's also ridiculously difficult to see in this tunnel for some reason.
Oh, you're swimming through poo water.
Ew. I'm gonna be swimming through a lot of it later.
Now, what else are they doing in the water down here? Have you seen a pipe?
could just be putting cups in the water and drinking it that way. They don't have cups, but it'll sit better in my head if I think of it that way.
No, that's pea water. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's pea water.
But it's blue.
Are you gonna argue with underground people and the color of their urine?
No, I'm just gonna genocide their species so they can't be in the water anymore. And apparently I'm going to seal them underground again.
I don't know, apparently they were unsealed. I don't think they came to the surface, so... Like, you're just murdering them all.
So maybe they're just kind of wandering around aimlessly?
They can't see where they're going.
Oh, I love the guy that just kind of waved hi to me. Trying to explode or turn invisible. No, turn invisible. And I just gave him a seizure. And bullets. Or shells.
I like how he turned invisible after you shot him. Just like, he'll never see me now.
Never let them see you bleed. I make a... I don't want to say an interesting discovery here, because it's not really interesting. But I find out that power-ups coming out of barrels don't stick around.
Really?
Yeah, I decided to leave those bullets, come back and pick them up later after I blew up all the barrels. Same thing with the charge darts over there and that one. Plasma rounds there. They don't stick around.
Oh.
Although we do have a couple more spiders coming.
Oh, Spider got the hell out of Dodge when I saw you had a flamethrower.
Keep note of that barrel that's there, that you can see with the flames.
Okay, so you're just fighting one spider. That's good to know.
Yeah, I got sick of just using the flamethrower on it. Plus, I got sick of it climbing back up to the ceiling.
It just reminded me of that one Mega Man X boss.
Oh yeah, bow spider. But we do have more than one spider, just... they're kind enough to come at you in a line instead of a group.
I still have that barrel in mind. What's going on with the barrel?
Yeah, there's... well, I'm trying to find it. And it's back in that corner. But I can't see it because it's too dark back there. And I've completely forgotten that that's where it's at. So I just kind of wander around aimlessly for a little bit. Before finally giving up.
Oh man, there's gonna be something cool in that barrel.
Yeah, there might have been, I'll never know. No, I just murdered a poor old man out walking a spider.
Flamethrower.
Look, life is cruel.
I have to wonder if maybe these, maybe the thermal vents just kind of opened. Most of these blind ones are just kind of wandering around aimlessly and they just happen to come up to the surface.
It's like, I haven't been around here before, I wonder what's going on.
I mean, these guys are throwing grenades at me, so clearly they... well, maybe then again, I have a reputation of shooting guys in the butt with arrows.
And to be fair, if somebody breaks in your house, you got grenades. Aren't you gonna whip them at them?
If I can get them back out of the house, yes. I like my stuff way too much to want to throw a grenade in front of it.
Well, like this guy just breaks in, he shot your roommate in the butt with an arrow. Aren't you gonna want to throw him a grenade at him?
Yeah, that's true. If I had a room this big, I'd probably just start throwing grenades at him. I could just live in a different part of the house then. Can't remember what direction this charge is going. Like, which one's the strongest?
Oh god, these guys again.
Yeah, this is where I forget how useful the Flamethrower is against them. And I decided to try the Shredder instead. Followed by the Plasma Rifle. Which for some reason made that guy's leg go weird, but... details.
I can't promise I'd react any better if I was shot in the leg with a plasma rifle.
I can't imagine it's a pleasant experience. I imagine it burns a little bit. Oh, here stuff starts to get weird on me while I was
Your
playing.
health is dangerously low.
I just got damaged after that guy died.
He fell on your foot. It hurt a little bit.
I just assumed maybe he fired an arrow as he was dying.
Your health being that low is freaking me out.
The spiders don't do that much. As for everything else, I've got plenty of charge darts.
Satchel charge.
Oh, down to 4.
Oh man.
And I just got killed by a guy that was
7 lives remaining.
seizing and locked in stasis.
You got shot by a blind guy. That's awesome.
Now, I would have cut back me getting all the way up there. But right here is where I figure out where I was getting shot from. It takes me a minute. But there's a cave up in the wall.
Oh, that dickhead.
Didn't notice that was there on any of the other 4 times I've come through this area. It does have little pegs, but we can't climb it from down here. So, might as well cut it until I get back up there. I'm a little nervous about jumping there from here, so I'm probably gonna have to wait till I'm on that bridge.
I think you would have been able to make it.
Might have been. I could go back and test, but I'm far too lazy. I mean, I'll leave that up to the thread to discover.
That's right. What are you 9 other guys watching this? You better figure it out.
In the meantime, I'll just jump to it off of this bridge. Just as soon as I make sure there's nothing else waiting back there for me. Don't want to walk into a trap blindly.
Ho ho ho. Yeah, if there was a game that would have benefited from any enemies being able to make traps for you, I don't think Turok 2 would have been it.
Maybe if they ever do another Turok. Jeez, these guys again.
Well, that's right, the explosive shells kind of keep a straight line, solid line. Other ones just kind of...
Yeah, there's no shrapnel with these ones. Instead, it's kind of like a 3D Gemini laser. Now, when I came back here initially, I had absolutely no idea what was back here. You need to come back here. Oh, that guy's missing most of his parts now.
Wow, that's all that's in this room? Is a key piece?
We need to use that cave key we found earlier. So we get our first thermal vent. These things kind of suck because until you close it, it just keeps spawning blind ones of both varieties.
Oh, that's what the satchel charge is for.
Plasma rifle.
Exactly.
Sniper capability enabled.
I just gotta get up to that big rock in the ceiling.
Oh, because you picked it up, I'm like, I don't remember satchel charges in this game.
We gotta use it to bury the blind ones. We just put her on the rock.
Field.
We've got a minute to get away. That was kind of a short minute, but okay.
Health is dangerously low.
Uh-oh, 2 health. Gotta get away.
What an ending.